Okay, so this thing's a little bit too sophisticated for me.
You're running out.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer. The cops got somebody! Connor's talking about the first time that he was in this field right here. Well, really, the first time he drove a truck was right here in this field. He had the red automatic.
Not a good memory there.
With the old transmission in it before we put a new one in it. And it was going, go up to the next one. Anyways, I guess I'm taking Dad's place for a little bit. Wow. I mean, is that thing just not huge?
I mean, there's bigger stuff back home where I'm from, so.
I don't think it fit in your guys' fields.
We make stuff out of it.
I don't know how it fits in our fields, honestly. Woo. Alright. Okay, so this thing's a little bit too sophisticated for me, but anyways, yeah, here's all your numbers and stuff going on there. Your row cleaners right there. Here's your multiples book, baby. Yeah, there's your... there is a lot of stuff going on here. I'm still kind of trying to flip through it all and trying to figure out what it is. This is your seat spacing, obviously your singulation, downforce margin, and your target population. The one thing I don't like is that they changed this from being 34,000 to being like 34.0 or 34 point whatever. Like, why? Why? What is the point in changing that? Some engineer just thought that magic would happen and it was a great idea to do, but you know what, it is what it is, I guess. So anyways, you can take this screen back to that, you can go to this screen and it has kind of the same stuff on it, I think. Yeah, see, yeah, so you can have the same stuff on multiple different screens. And then we got our one screen for the starter fertilizer, which we're just running ATS. No big deal there, just kind of normal stuff. And then the Thrive, blockage checker, hydraulics. So this hydraulics thing's kind of weird. So your number one and your number two are both on auto, which that's for your folding mechanism, I guess. But then again, you can't click it whenever it's folding. So Dad gets it all messed up sometimes. No big deal. I haven't had a problem with it. Dad did today. I guess he had a busting match with it. The constants for your vacuums. Okay, so why do we not have vacuums that are automated if everything else is automated on this planner? You know, this planner, when you're speeding up and slowing down a lot, you gotta be changing your vacuums when you're going from 6 mile an hour to 12 mile an hour. You gotta have more vacuum strength at a higher speed, I'm assuming. I don't know, me and Dad was playing with it the other day and that's what we had decided. But then again, I don't know. I'm not an engineer. The db80 is a monster to turn around. And I mean a monster. I mean, you gotta gear down, gear up, and hit buttons and all kind of fun stuff. And then you can't ever get down on the ground fast enough when you turn around either, but I just haven't figured it out yet either. I think that's the reasoning for that. That needs to be just a pop-up thing right there. I don't know why they don't have that like that already, but whatever. So then we take off and we can go look at our Xyway system, see how it's doing. I need to check on it anyways. Oh, it's right there. So this is the Xyway system. It's doing what it's supposed to do, apparently. Doing pretty good. Everything on this planner has been pretty well accurate. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I did sit out here with for multiple days trying to look through it and make sure that everything was going to work right. We had tried every single thing on this planter. The only thing that we didn't do was put it in the ground. So I think that came down to helping it out a lot as far as getting into the field and going. There's going to be another thing that we're going to see pretty soon. We have partnered up with Michelin and PTG on putting a air kit system on this tractor and planter. So basically, when you pull into the field, you drop the air out, or you drop the air out of tires, and then wherever you pull back onto the road, you air the tires back up again to drive down the road. We drive down the road a lot, and that's the only reason that we haven't went to tracks. So we're hoping that this philosophy or idea will help us through this. The only problem with it is the kits are available, yes, but the biggest thing is well, you gotta get them installed. And we didn't really get a chance to talk to this guy about it until like a couple weeks ago. So it comes down to it, and we're ready to go. Well, we haven't gotten it installed yet, which is kind of a new thing to the US, and eventually I see it in the future coming from the factory on John Deere tractors and planters. They use it a lot in Germany, France, places like that where they got smaller tractors for bigger equipment. So yeah, we're trying to do everything that we can to avoid getting tracks in that situation, because road miles and tracks don't work out very well. So yeah, anyways, I'm still kind of trying to figure it all out. Have to bear with me a little bit. This one does have row cleaners on it though, and it's fun to sometimes play with the buttons. If Dad's watching, no, I'm kidding. You just leave it on number 2 for the harder stuff, and we switch it back to number 1 for the softer, fluffier stuff. If you have it on too high of a setting, it just digs a big rut in the field, and obviously you don't want to do that, because I don't want to bounce across it for the next 2 years. So, but yeah, this thing is fantastic. I mean, the tractor rides great. Speaking of which, I need my massager on. Sound like an old man. Oh, and I'm loving having CarPlay in here. CarPlay is so nice. I mean, used to, it was just a struggle with the freaking radio all the time, and they finally went and put CarPlay in the tractor. I've had it in pickup for like years, and yeah, so it's a big up. Anyways, to end off my little spiel here, John Deere, I'm thoroughly convinced that for once they actually thought of the comfort and convenience of having stuff like Bluetooth radios, heated seats, cooled seats, massaging seats. When you're sitting in here for 12 hours a day, yeah, I know some people are gonna be like, well, you didn't do this 50 years ago. But when you sit in here for as long as what we do, and you just do nothing all day long, you just go, you just sit here. Comfort is definitely something that I feel like was overlooked for a while, and even back in the 1940s, 1950s, all the way up until recently, they started to think about it. I mean, these seats are so comfortable. You can move this seat anywhere around that you want. It's like a pickup seat in a sense of saying that. So I don't really know how to look at it, but it is what it is. I am very grateful for the equipment that we've got now. It's a lot better than the stuff that we had. Whenever I was growing up, I remember Dad had an 8820, I think. Yeah, an 8820, and it didn't have a buddy seat in it. So I was always riding on the giant armrest right there, and now you got a buddy seat and a refrigerator that'll freeze pop cans. So yeah, I mean, they're making upgrades. I like it. Makes me feel like instead of sitting in here for 12 hours, I want to sit in here for 20. But whatever. So, and this thing kicks up a lot of dust too. My neighbor's over there. Case Steiger and a little tool blower, putting on some anhydrous halters, and they done that field there, that field, another field over there. So
filling the beast up, fill the planter up, feeding fertilizer. Got Alex and Connor on top. Watch her go in. Got the peak performance here with the fertilizer truck. Seed header filling up at the same time. Oh yeah, gorgeous sunset too. Can't beat green paint in the sun. just spilled corn everywhere. God.
That's looking on my face.
Yeah, it is. Can't have anything nice, right?
Nope. You guys don't know, I screw everything up on this farm, so you see me in the videos, I'm usually screwing stuff up.
Alex is on his phone. That's typical. Duck the fish. Oh, good. Probably haven't screwed anything up planning yet, but that'll come.
And you're running out.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer. The cops got somebody! Well, I tried to even it out again. I think I made it work, but it's alright. Got my arm. Good?
Yeah.
Was there any coming out of it still?
A little bit.
Okay.